Let's talk about ways to never run out of content ideas and post over 90 videos every single month.
Let's do it.
It seems like everybody nowadays is either taking advantage of TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube Shorts in one way or another for their marketing content. And I know you don't want to get left behind, but maybe you have no idea what to post. Or maybe you've posted a whole bunch and you think you've just completely run out of ideas and you have no idea what to post anymore. If you're using these video apps to market, it can be really detrimental if you just stop posting all of a sudden. You want to keep a consistent flow of content in order to keep showing up online, in order to build brand awareness, get your audience to know, like, and trust you, build up your social media presence, and of course to market and make sales. So it's really important to be consistent and keep putting out content, but if you have no idea what to post, then you're kind of screwed. Personally, I post at least 3 times a day on my TikTok. Hi, I'm Lindsey Elizabeth, and I am a marketing expert as well as an indie author, and that's what I post about on TikTok. But the tips I'm going to share, you can use in literally every niche for any type of business if you're using this type of short form video content marketing. Also, before we even jump into the actual tips, my first tip is that if you are posting multiple videos a day on any platform, you should be repurposing those pieces of content onto those other short form video platforms so that you're maximizing your audience, potential reach, impressions, views, and hopefully eventually sales. So if you're posting 3 videos a day on TikTok, I want you to take those videos, repost them over to Instagram Reels, and repost those over to YouTube Shorts. You can also download them from TikTok without the watermark. Some people have the in-app feature, but if you don't, you can use this website called Snaptic to easily just copy and paste the URL of your video and then download it without the watermark so that it's a little bit more clean and professional when you're putting it into these other video platforms. Super easy. All right, I've got 8 tips for you today. I'm gonna start off with some basic tips, but as we go, I'll get into some tips that not nearly enough people are talking about. All right, let's dive in. The first thing I do to make sure that I always have inspiration and videos that I know I can adapt to my niche are if I see a video that I like and I have like the spark of an idea, I will go in and save that video just like in the TikTok app, but you can also just save a link if you want to go back to it later. And if I immediately have like a whole video idea, I will like use that sound if it's the sound that I want to use, and I'll go in and just record nothing, like the ceiling or something. And then I'll go in and write little notes about what I want in the clips that go with that sound, if it's the sound that I'm really going for. But if there's just a whole video concept that I like, then I'll just save the whole video. And if it's the sound, I easily have the sound ready to go, my notes ready to go of what I want to film, and then I can just go film it. The second tip I have for you is also pretty basic, but it's kind of hopping on those trends. So if you see a trending audio that you see it or hear it everywhere, that means it's probably trending. I know sometimes the For You page has us like picked out to a T and we just see like audios hundreds of times, even though there's only like a few thousand videos of that. But even then, that means it's kind of picking up some pace in at least a certain niche. So you can always hop on that and see if it does well for your video too. Third tip, if you need more content ideas, is to surf those like explore pages, For You pages, things where they're pushing out kind of random content, or content at least that you're not specifically following those people, because you're gonna get a little bit of a wider view of what is going on across the entire platform versus just your friends and followers and mutuals. The fourth tip I have for you is to stitch videos while also adding value. You don't ever want to just stitch videos and sit there and nod or add like a few words and be like, yep, I agree with this. That honestly doesn't add anything to the value of the conversation or your audience members who are watching it. So if you see a video that you like enough to stitch it, you want to make sure that you're actually bringing something to the table. The fifth idea for you for coming up or creating just in general more content is to respond to comments on your videos. I know on TikTok you can also video respond to comments on other people's videos, but I wouldn't really recommend that. It's just not really good like social media etiquette. But responding to comments on your videos is extremely helpful in just telling the algorithm that this video is doing something still. So it might push out that original video, or at the very least, you get some views on the content that you're posting with your comment. Personally, I've done this on a video that I had blow up to over 6.5 million views, and it had nothing to do with the niche that I was actually posting in. So I post about my books, and of course, a video that I took of my friend who's a professional mermaid. I posted that. I just had a fun day at the aquarium watching them. And that video blew up and went completely viral, and it had a bunch of comments like, wow, a real mermaid. And you might be wondering, Lindsey, how the heck did you relate that back to your book? And the answer is, it's my social media channel, and I didn't give a crap. I filtered through some of those comments and just took ones that were either random, or if they were like a little bit snarky for some reason, or if I could just somehow tie it into anything about my books, I did that. And when I was posting video replies to comments that were like, wow, look, a real mermaid, I would just simply be like, yeah, a real mermaid, but also, did you know I write books? So sometimes you have to have like no shame and just do whatever is best for your business, even if the comment doesn't necessarily lead into a good conversation. It's still your social media page. Your audience is going to be viewing it. Just make the most of it. My sixth tip is one that I am a huge advocate for, and it's working smarter, not harder, by repurposing and reposting content. So if you have a video that does fairly well or really well and it blows up, either way, you can reuse that content by either reposting it or making just a very similar video with a new sound or slightly changed text, a little bit different caption, changing up your hashtag strategy. There are so many ways that you can feed off of that momentum. If there's certain phrasing that people liked to see on that certain post, or if you had a certain call to action, you can really just multiply your success by continuing to do what works. And a little bit of a special tip that I have for you relating to repurposing or reposting content is that if I have a video that I see and it's immediately doing well, I save it in my own little private TikTok folder that says did well, and then it's just right there. It's kind of my little grab bag of stuff that I can just post if I'm not feeling like posting that day, or if I just have run out of ideas. And it is important to keep in mind that so many of us don't know what to post, or we get blockages of creativity, and it's nothing wrong with you, it just happens. And so if you're experiencing a lot of burnout and you're just not finding the joy in creating video content anymore, you can take a break. That's okay. We're not going to be creative all the time, and we're not going to feel like posting videos all the time, but it is important to keep out some consistency with your content, which is where repurposing videos that did well, again, comes in very handy. The seventh tip I have for you might be like a little bit platform dependent, but it's to try different variations of the same content. So for instance, I think on pretty much every social media app now, except maybe YouTube Shorts, you can post video content and photo content. So when I'm thinking about how to do this on TikTok, I'm thinking I can make a video with text over some kind of a background and music, which is kind of the typical style of TikTok you see. The second form of video you could make is something like this, where you're actually just talking to the camera, but you could be giving a very similar information, tips and tricks, education, whatever kind of content you're posting. You can basically take what your like script on screen for your text overlay and image video was and turn that into a talking video for a different style of content. I have found that usually people want to put a face to the brand or business, so it is helpful to do this kind of talking content. And then you can also do just straight images, pictures, you can put some text over it, you could do a carousel post on Instagram, or you can do like a swipe through carousel on TikTok now. I don't know if they call it a carousel on TikTok or if that's like copyrighted. But yeah, 3 different forms of the same type of content, and then you can see what does well. I have one more tip for you, but if you are finding any of these at all remotely helpful, please give me a thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. And I want to give you guys the type of content that you're looking for. So if you like this video, please let me know so that I know I can post more like it. Now, my last tip for never running out of content ideas or always being able to post content at least is to actually use the search function of the app that you're on. Pretty much all of these social media apps nowadays have some sort of search function. They are search engines disguised as social media. So if there's a certain key phrase that you want to be known for and you want to be found when people are looking up that phrase, that's called keyword research. Do your keyword research and see what videos are popping up towards the top of the screen. You will have endless amounts of ideas for what is doing well, what people are already liking, sharing, engaging with. And then usually as you're scrolling, at least on TikTok, you can even see related searches. So you can really dig into this rabbit hole of endless content ideas based on whatever keywords you want to be found for. And that is something I don't see nearly enough people talking about. So please use these tips and let me know if you found any of them helpful whatsoever in your social media content creation journey. Thank you for watching. Have a nice night wherever you are. Bye.